Recording in progress. It says it out loud. All right. You guys can hear me clearly. Yo. Now I'm focused now. Are you paying attention? OM? All right, guys, here we go. I said, are you paying attention? All right, so we're looking at ES and we're looking at SPY. ES is the top two charts and the two bottom charts are SPY. So you made it for class, Sendo. All right. So basically here, we are at a critical point, which is all-time highs, looking slightly like a rejection. We can't close above it. This is to your right chart. You can see the 2H, the H2, which is the 2 hour. I'm going to show you right now. This rate, oops, wrong one. Hold up. Okay. This was a false breakout. The 2-day here. This 2-day closes tomorrow. So if we reject 45.34, which we currently are doing now, if we close below that, we want to focus on the next 2-day chart, which is going to be Tuesday to Wednesday. That's going to be key as well. So you want that chart to close above 45.34 for a new all-time high of 45.60. The reason I chose puts, the 445 puts, because everybody knows this is the double top. I'm going to show you in the weekly. ES at the top. So this actually would be like a quad top. Annotation. First rejection on the weekly. From outside to down. Double top here. Rejected. And we came all the way down and bottomed here. Now we're retesting for a triple top was here, which was last week. Couldn't close above. $45.34. That is your key level this week to hold above. If rejects, that's going to be a quad top, which would be basically a double top with 2 consecutive weeks, like the previous ones over here. Hey, when this happens, you have to click it like right away. There we go. I know this is an earnings week too. Earnings week is definitely going to basically give us direction. There was a lot of good earnings that came out, but sold off into. For example, CMG, which is a new play. We haven't traded CMG. I don't know. It's been like over a year, to be honest. I feel like they did great with earnings and they basically sold off. And by sold off, basically profit taking. So there's a lot of things that's basically going to let us know what's the best move this week. Are we going to close above 454 via SPY? New all-time highs for ER? Or are we going to finally reject and possibly retest 428 But before that, we would have to basically bounce off our 14, 30, and 20. Look at our 2-day. So I want to break down this SPY here. Give me a second, let me open. So for you, this 2-day at the bottom. Okay, be late. Single. Hold up. Here's SPY. This is a weekly. I'll have to change it to 2-day. Laptop is a week. All right. This is your weekly SPY. I prefer to go back to 2-day. Weekly with SPY and weekly with ES basically look different, but same chart setup. As far as things that are different with this weekly SPY, it tested 454 only 1 week, which was in 830, and then last week that just passed. So that would be considered a double top on a SPY weekly chart. When we looked at ES weekly chart, it would have been a quad top, which would have been 4 consecutive rejections. This is going to be a pretty interesting week, to be honest. Like this candle from last week, like basically throws it off. So we're getting somewhat of a similar setup to, hold on, let me show you right here, this candle. So these two, now we get a red body here. We had so many consecutive gap ups. Everybody's looking for these gaps to fill. I draw these line extended because if you look at your 14 SMA, you can see where it's going to come when price actually starts coming down. It's going to fall into 44, 444. I always tell everybody to watch this number. That will be a retest. So I went for 445s, 440, 445, yeah. For a short, that's just above 444, 72. So I'm using these gaps. Have a gap fill here. We have a gap fill in here, 447.36. So we want to see a rejection here. If we don't reject, then I can see us at least testing the all-time highs, the 457.24 before we actually start having an engulfing week to where we just engulf straight down to 449.06. I know everybody's like all-time highs, more all-time highs, but I want to play smart. I want to play that anything is possible from here on out, as opposed to thinking like, okay, this is the like buy time. Because here there's the best time. The best time to buy time is when you see we are at a level this way, resistance 454 that we tested, making the all-time high, then we rejected, and then now we're retesting that again. So playing short and playing long will be like 50-50, but here there's a lot of down signals that line up with the short that makes the short work out as well. So you have your gaps, you have how far we are from our 14, 30, and 20 SMAs. Like you like to, I focus on these a lot because when they start lining up with your levels, that's when you know your price points are like those price points are going to work out. So that's more of the support. The closer the price is to that level, that simple moving average, the stronger that support is, whether it's above or below. If it's above, that's the resistance. If it's below, that will be the support. That will be where the price is going to next. Which overall, oops, undo that. here. And this will be the target overall. But let's see what happens with earnings this week. When you have these many gap ups, the fill comes quicker. And it usually happens with an engulfing candle. So we get like a false gap up, and then we engulf this body here. This would be an inverted box. Usually I would buy this in a downtrend. This type of setup here, that's going to happen at the top. We're looking for something similar to here. Keep that in mind. No questions right now. No questions right now. No questions. I'm supposed to turn off questions. All right, I'm doing it real quick. I'm sorry. Okay. But then again, like if you're not comfortable playing short in a trend that looks like it's still a buy, but in the back of your head, you're like, damn, this is if I could read it better short. If I'm not a person that likes to short. So let me look at it in a bullish way that I'm able to short it. So then you flip it, you invert the chart. What you do in TOS, you put a minus in front of it. I don't know about other platforms, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I would be a buyer here. Now, the whole point of looking at the other chart, you're like, damn, this could be a long, it could be a good short, but I'm scared to short it. But you look at it in a long way, it would be like, oh, okay, I'll buy it down here. So you play your cards right here. How you play your cards, you buy it 2 weeks out. Or depending on how many moving averages you have on your chart, the more moving average you have, the closer to expiry you should be. Now, what I'm trying to say here, this is something that you should like write down. I play with 3 moving averages. I'm looking at a daily chart. I'm looking at my levels to my right, and I'm looking at where on the chart we are. And I'm looking at, okay, I want to go long. But to test out this long is going to be, it's going to hold. And how to confirm it? As you see on my chart, I have 3 moving averages, right? So with those 3 moving averages, I can either turn each of them into a week, a day, an hour, and a month, depending on the daily chart. So I'm looking at a daily chart. These 3 moving averages, I'm going to buy 3 weeks out. Or I can do each moving average 3 days. So that's how you can, that's another way to go about it. So if you're buying here at 454 and you're shorting, basically inverted, your first target is 450.63, right? I'm gonna point that out here. So the smartest bet is to buy 1 to 2 points above that, and that would be 452. That's a safe route. So that's going to be, you're going to buy 1 week out with the first target is your 14 SMA. So you have a week to get to that target on a daily chart. Your next target is 446 and 450.63 holds, right? So you're like, okay, I'm going to buy the 447.50s because I know it's going to hit 446.11, but I want to play this safely. So you buy 2 weeks out for that price target. Now your next one is 444 because you know that has been a significant level on your chart. So you buy the third SMA, the highest one should be the highest vacuum before any rejection really happens to a support. Here you buy 3 weeks out for this one. And that 3 weeks out would be 442. So you're going to buy the lucky number 44 or 44, 444, which is a key level. Now that's how you pick your strikes. And how you know they confirm is by the end of the first week, which is the first strike you pick, that price, by the end of the week, you should be above 450.63. And if you are there even before the end of the week, you have a higher chance of getting to your next target by the end of the week, which would be another vacuum or a higher push, which now you have double confirmation. You have your first strike 1 week out and your second strike 2 weeks out are in profit, are in good profit. Let's say your first week is 100%, your third week is 75% or 50%. And that's from Monday to Tuesday. You're already over 450.63 from here. That's your, if by the second week, you're already as close to your second strike, which is 2 weeks out, and you're already near to touch your third strike, which is your SMA, your green target there, then you have what you call a rolling play, where your first week you can basically roll out to the third week, which has a cheaper premium because you're playing more out the money, right? And you put your money into there because it's safer and it has more time and less decay. And then your second week should be a very profitable when you just focus on that one, working on that one, and any large profit you get from that week, you can just roll it into the next week because you can see a continuation in price. But once price hits these 3 targets, time to short if they cannot close above, or they will consolidate. Like here, he's consolidated, made a flag, and then broke above. I'm just giving you the best ways to read price. So I wanted to use SPY. Now I want to get into CMG. I wanted to talk about that. Like I said in the beginning before I recorded, they had great earnings. And I'm going to say that was a profit taking opportunity because CMG didn't move as big as I thought it would. People were expecting like a breakout from his previous earning, like a big gap. I'm going to show you right now what I'm talking about. I turn earnings on settings so you guys can see, which would be the telephone and the light bulb, the red and the blue down here. But this last earnings, it moved like this. So the first day, the second day, and the third day. I like to count 3 days after earnings, right? So you duplicate this move. People were expecting this to happen, something like this, like a gap up like that. But what happened? It didn't happen. It actually did gap up, tested the 30 SMA, then it rejected. So if this was a continuation down and a sell-off happens, this would actually fall right into place of my rising channel, which is also a breakout level here. So it makes sense that we activate this comes to play here. So I'm looking at this in a short way too. Mind you, I'm long because going in tomorrow, I have to make sure that I'm quick to react. So if I have to sell the position, take a loss, and roll over into a short position, then I'm going to have to do that. But at the same time, I'm minimizing my risk. Getting out the position, and I'm basically minimizing my loss. Let me just make these lines darker for you guys. So my thoughts going into next week, well, this week for CMG, I'm looking for a support hold here. It's flagged this long. Had a nice retest, 1789.85. So the real move was to go short from open. But if you played it right, you could have still made money long playing the bounces because it did a lot of that. Sorry if you hear Cuddy in the background snoring. He is asleep. Yeah, sorry about that. I'd rather him do that than bark during live. Because people sounds he hates, especially when he's tired. All right. Here we go. So what I'm looking for is basically a false breakdown. I mean, earnings were great. I'm not a fundamental person, but there was no negative in earnings. Now, to follow some upgrades, why not? Let's say we open up around here. Your high target is high of channel. Once it passes mid-range, give you a mid-range. This is your mid-range. Mid-range is usually a resistance or a zone, duplicate, that you see a lot of candles, a concentration of price actions. This is your zone, your mid-zone. Because in this blue square, rectangle, however you want to call it, or this blue channel here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 candles. That means the price action that has been a vacuum to that channel, that mid channel. So any close above that channel, you get a price build to retest the highest of the trend channel. Oops, let's go back. Fix that. My strength is that I can look at a chart and without drawing lines, you can see the trend. Drawing the lines just basically highlights, makes it stand out more. It makes it look better too. So the goal here is we want a inside up move. So if we open at 1789, basically where we closed, vacuum to 1825, retest 1839. If by Tuesday the latest, get over 1866 by Thursday, and Friday basically break out to around 1898.49. Or we look at the downside. We open down under 1789.85 and we head back down to 1712.14, which possibly gaps always 9 out of 10 do fill and come down here. Push this gap. We'll bring price down here. So you look at both sides. You got to see what's the best move. Below 1789, you have some continuation on the 1712 or low 1700s. Hold 1789, you have chances back to 1839, about mid-range high, which is 1866.76. That red line is your midpoint. You want to see at least that touch by Wednesday. Thursday, the latest. But Wednesday makes better for a nice Lotto Friday. So let's see if we get any upgrades overnight. Market probably be down for the day and yeah, like it used to do. It used to do back on ERs. Next up, I want to go back to XLU. This is our #1 silent theory play. This is the play that we probably made the most money from. It was basically, it's our go-to when other things don't work out, everything becomes boring. It's that go-to, that play that it just, you can make money on both sides. It trades with its levels perfectly. Right now, we are back in it, looking for a breakout to new 52-week highs. So over 67.40. We could have did that Friday, but it's acting up. So I want to see a breakout above 67.40, at least 68.74 this week. This is a daily chart, so let's make it a weekly to show more realistic range for the week. We closed above 1430 and 20 this week. If any gap down happens, we're looking to gap down and test the 14 SMA. So a gap down to 66.95 wouldn't be bad. About 25 to 30 cents at the open. Bounce off of that and close above 67.40 by Tuesday or tomorrow. By Wednesday, at least over 68. Thursday, test 68.74. Probably close around there. Somewhat similar to their, hold on, I'm going to show you right now, to this move right here. This right here, this candle, similar to this candle. The move just down below and above. See this happening. XLE is always like a safe haven. Everybody has that ticket they go to, like, okay, this ain't working for me. Let me go back to this thing because I know how well I do with it. Nice little candle combo. Broke out. Nice triangle. See the short-term high for Tuesday and tomorrow. I'm like literally showing you guys how I basically get the next high for the next day or end of the week. Some days it can tell you the next day. Sometimes it can tell you the end of the week. Oops. There you go. We're going to tomorrow. We'll find some rejection at 67.62. So the new high on the day should be 67.40. But 67.62 is going to be a pain. If we get over that, we're definitely seeing 68.74. Possibly by end of the week. Nice cup forming as well. Definitely could see us getting a 69 retest. 71 has been difficult. I'd even 71.70 definitely has. We had a double, almost a double top. Next up, Melly. I had to turn Melly inverted for reasons because even my bullish chart was looking sloppy. Not the levels, just the price action. Like a chart like this, it would have to basically reverse here. This type of setup. It would have to hold 1500 and bounce here. If not, I can see that price getting violated and we're breaking outside this blue range and outside this rising channel. Second support of the rising channel, actually. Now that's your standard chart. I'm going to do a side-by-side inverted chart for Melly and show you why the inverted chart looks way bullish because of that engulfing candle. This is an H3, put you on an H4. H3 is basically 3 candles for the day. See, to me, this is candle combo, inverted. There we go. I'd definitely be a buyer here. This had me concerned too. It just couldn't really break 1600. Back under 1481. We are back in short territory. Yeah, this is a reason why the best way to look at a chart is looking at the regular version and then the inverted version for the people that want to go short. Make them both look bullish if you want, or whatever. If you only know long and you want to know how to trade short, like I always said in my previous video, invert the chart. It makes it look like it's a long. You just buy puts. Could be a lot of fake outs happening too. I mean, the short side still looks appealing for a lot of plays that we have inverted. But the crazy part was so many things got to all-time highs in like 6 days. I mean, it was money to be made, but at the same time, that's questionable. Earnings could be great. Earnings could do, like I said, like CMG did. CMG had great earnings and sold off. This can have great earnings and sell off. 1206 being the first target. Chart is, it was just channeling too. Now if I extend this, let me show you something. Here we go. It's the channel. Some consolidation. But there's definitely going to be some overhead right here in that previous rejection. 1481, 82. What else? What else? What else? What else? Give me 1 second. Hold on. PG, PG. Yes, yes, yes. PG was very interesting. Spite of earnings, PG traded as expected. That gap down was an automatic buy. Then it became another buy for the Thursday. We have a candle combo down here. So we're looking for a move to 143.78 this week. I couldn't really go bearish on this one short because of this level here. Like for the past week, it didn't even go to the second support, which would be down here to retest these wicks, this candle area. This was the buy. This was the sell. The first sell, your first price your first price taking, and then profit taken there, your first profit taken, and then this reversal was the buy. So now we're looking for this to turn into support. First target once we get over 141. Hence why 141 was key for last week. Closed at, rejected here, closed above, closed above, closed above, but also rejected 1430 and 20. Rejected here, closed below. This would be mid-range of our channel, 136.22 to 147.22. This is our channel. Mid-range is 141. Maybe a little bit higher than that, which would be here. around 141.98. That should be tomorrow's price target. I know a lot of people made money on PG. The first day was the ER day. With the post ER. Let's look at the weekly chart. I mean, this whole chart looks amazing. This daily chart, the whole chart looks amazing. Got a cup and handle. Freaking ratherly large candle at that. I can't even use a curve, but I'll show you guys. You got an asymmetric, you got an ascending triangle. You have a cup and handle. Let me see if I can even use the drawing tools to make it. So let's use this. Hold on. So actually probably look better. So you get an idea. So I can't use the rounding tool. See exactly what I'm doing. I mean, so we're basically blurring out. So the dark spot here is basically, you don't have to worry about this area. The basically highlighted spot, gray area below is your cup. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, if you guys see what I'm showing you. So here's your cup. This is like the best way to put it, and actually looks pretty decent. Let's put this up more. So that fits there. This should be higher so that you can see the candles, still see the cup. Right, you guys see that cup. And this is the handle. There we go. There we go. This would be a handle. Your handle would basically be where price is actually channeling. See if they can allow me to make this a solid. And you guys get where I'm going with this anyway. So just use this. So here would be basically your handle. So focus more. We want it to line up here. There we go. This one. I'm trying to make this one. Basically just fit in here. erase this. So you see the cup? Looks like some geometry I'm doing or something. To give you guys an idea. It's not a filler, so I need a filler. This is where your price should channel basically at. This is your handle. I mean, I get where I'm going with this. So basically this right here would be a channeling price. Your price of your price channels here. Now I can zoom in. I don't want to change this. I just like this picture. Screenshot it. Example. So you want to see basically your 139.53 hold, get back above 141. Your cup breakout would be 147.22. So your handle will be complete if you can close above 143.78. This level here would be where your handle is complete. Test 143.78. Get above that, which we are also creating a W pattern. And your breakout would be to 147.22. So 147 calls for January would be the best move. So for those that have weeklies for this week, move into January. I can give you even better picture. One of my favorite setups, ascending triangle. Very strong setup too, because when it breaks out, it breaks out. We get that retest. Just keep that in mind. Anywhere near. Double top. Next up, possible triple top or breakout. So next target here. But first target, of course, we have to mess with this. For it to be a successful double pattern, it has to get over 143.78. PG is definitely strong on radar. CMG is definitely strong on radar this week for me. SPY also. I'm going to be scalping SPY a lot this week. Next up, Mchp. I like this setup for so many reasons. Daily, just looking at the chart, you can see the cup and handle, you can see the inverted head and shoulders, and you can see the bullish flag, which a bullish flag is basically a channel for an extended period of time. That price has basically been trading in a range from high to low. This has breakout all over it. You know, there's everybody, I mean, this is within the live, but everybody always wants the easy way out. I mean, learning how to chart is actually fun when you get used to it because you challenge yourself by looking at charts like, oh, this looks like this could be a good long, this could be a good short. I like this pattern, the setup, like the potential it has. You have a chart in front of you, you can do whatever you want to it. You can add lines, you can add circles, you can highlight, you can write down, put in your notes. Make it whatever is the easiest way to read a chart. I like this chart a lot. We're slightly ascending too. Let me get a 2-day to 4D chart so I can get this chart closer. Let the candles pop out more. There we go. Okay, got it. So 74.33 is mid-range of this whole channel. 79.14 is what we need to get above to retest all-time highs around 82.40. This setup was a fun pick, and a pick that I liked that came up on my scanners was because it trades by the book. By the book, it trades by levels. It trades by confirmation. Like 74.33, we tested. I'm gonna break it down for you guys. So we rejected first all-time high. We traded in this channel, which is the mid-range of this whole full channel. You can see here, it's all the way across. This is your mid-range of the high of the channel and the low of the channel. Again, this is your high of the channel, which is 82.40, let's say, and your low of the channel, which is 64.67. And your mid-range is your channel here to where the most price action is. The higher of the mid-range, which let's say this is your mid-range, which is 77 and 70.80. So 74.33 is your midpoint. And price stays above this and holds and confirms, it gets over 79.14, has a higher chance of retesting all-time highs, which is around 82.40. So this makes this setup a great play. And you just cycle through your charts from weekly to daily. This is a nice box form too on the weekly. This chart is pretty clean and self-explanatory. It's going to point out two obvious points. Three. It's going to show you some box reversals. This is considered a box, 3 candles, engulfing down slightly, and then a hammer, and then a reversal, closing above that previous candle. Similar would be something like this. Similar, this. When that third candle is above that second one. Call these boxes basically reversals, especially strong reversals at, again, our mid-range price. All these prices touches this mid-range and created this pattern. There we go. Set it down. Boom. I like to actually move my extensions over too. I like to let them always line up. That's why I like to draw my channel, so I can just move them all over here. So I have to get the lines confused and focus on the present price action, not the past. Let's see where it's building at. So build here, looking at 79.07 this week. See what happens. Oh, and remember, monthlies are closing very soon. Your monthly candles, your monthly charts, keep that in mind. Especially SPY too, that's another one. I like this monthly setup. We got two insides, but remember that range I was telling you guys about, the mid range where so many price actions happened. All right, so look at this. Just looking at the chart around already, look at all these insides here and broke down and then went inside again. This was an automatic reverse signal. From all the inside, it bounced off, closed back up, and then it went outside up, which would be here by this candle. And then we had the following inside candle, another inside candle. So I would like to see this monthly chart go to 82 all-time highs by end of November. So December, January, 82 calls would be the best if they have that. And another thing that stands out on this chart, if nobody noticed it, that continue to make it bullish besides these hammers, but where are these hammers touching? The 14 SMA and bouncing right off of it. All right, so I wanted to just go over those. I mean, it's a fresh week, new week. Every week is a new week, new opportunities, and how you play them. Remember, if you have to invert your charts. Remember, I was going to show you guys SPY monthly. SPY monthly is very bullish. We call that a hot dog pattern. That's one inside. That's when you have a green candle followed by a red candle, which goes inside. And then you have a green candle or purple, which goes outside up, basically inside up. I'm going to show you. So here, this is another one. This is a double inside. Usually they have a continuation. So it's going to be very tricky these next few days, 2 weeks. SPY gets over 460, definitely has some continuation. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to stop this live. Any questions?